Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my good buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how are you doing, man?
I am doing swell on this humid day. That's all we seem to have is just rainy, yucky, humid weather.
We're gonna have
But
to
I'm doing
start
well.
going in rowboats everywhere.
Bro, you're not kidding. The amount of rain that's fallen the last couple of days is kind of ridiculous.
It's finally cooling off here, so it's not as humid here today, because it just poured probably right before you called me, and it seemed to the humidity's not as bad. So hopefully that's heading your way.
Yeah, no, it's been pouring here all morning. It's still raining here. It's still so humid. It's so bad. It's like the comforter was even damp because it's like the fog has been just so awful.
Dude, I had to do not flag day, field day with my kid on Monday, and Monday was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Well, I get there and I had to be there at 9 o'clock. And they're like, "Oh, you're all the way on the other side of the football field, like in direct sunlight all day."
Oh, that's fun.
So what I was doing is they had, periods almost you would call them, where this grade to this grade played in your area from this time to this time, and they would switch. So, I would stay for a little while and watch, the kids. If there wasn't any fucking kids playing, I went and, hid in the shade and, kept looking to make sure, make sure nobody was there.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Because I
Fuck
was
the heat.
and it's funny because I went on lunch break. They gave us a lunch break, and I went to our local mall, and I ran into an old friend, and they wanted to give me a hug. I was like, no, you don't want to do that. I'm gross. I'm, need 2 showers.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
So it was an adventure to say the least. And then at least tomorrow is going to be nice. I'll be outside all day for TODs, so it's supposed to be 80 and breezy and no humidity.
Oh, that's good.
When I saw that, I was so excited.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be in Baltimore. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. My wife is having some kind of get together with her college cohorts.
Well, that's
So,
interesting.
yeah, I like a lot of them, so it'd be cool to catch up with some of them.
Yeah, that sounds nice. All right, before we get rolling, everyone, don't forget to check out our social media stuff: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Check them out on Twitter at B Plus Radio. Also, check out their sponsors over at Audible. You could get a free 30-day trial. Check out podcasts, ebooks, comedy stuff, whatever you like, for 30 days. Go to audibletrial.com/B plus players. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Too Sweet Magazine. Find them on Twitter at 2TOO Sweet Mag. All right, there's a lot of stuff that's happened this week. How about we start with we'll go with Tony Khan was on Stone Cold's podcast. Have you been hearing rumors that Stone Cold might be doing something with AEW in the future?
No.
Okay, then that's just nonsense. All right.
I mean, it's possible, but none of the few places that I do get my resources from, nobody has reported
Okay.
anything of that.
Well,
You
he
know,
was
it's
on his podcast saying that they're going to have a tag team tournament to take place on their debut show on TNT.
well, again, I don't know if it's a debut show, but it's gonna start when they get their TV deal. It's not necessarily gonna be a one episode show. That's where they're gonna start their tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they get TV, they're gonna introduce tag belts and tag team champions. He also said that down the line, he definitely sees a women's title and a women's tag title. He grew up loving tag wrestling, and he's very knowledgeable about wrestling, like surprisingly so, for a very spoiled rich kid. Um, Yeah, no, the entire interview was good. Did you hear the interview? Did you listen to it?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, I was listening to it yesterday. It's really interesting. He has a really interesting take on wrestling and stuff like that. I definitely could him and Austin do something together. It's possible. He got Bret Hart, but
Yeah.
it's
I was going to say,
anything is
dude, I
possible in
can't wait
wrestling.
to see all the tag teams that they're going to bring in for this tournament. I'm like really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm curious who they're going to get because I don't know who their working relationships with. Who their working relationships are with that we would know because we don't really know much about OWE, the Oriental Wrestling. We don't know much about them. I mean, which isn't a bad thing, and I know they have a working relationship with AAA. So
Yeah.
I don't know where else, I mean, I'm sure they could bring in tag, but if you're talking about best in the world, it's going to have to be somewhat established people. Like I would guess, or people who have somewhat of a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think that just because, no disrespect to like independent tag teams, but if you're starting out like a tournament, you want someone with like name recognition that if someone that's, as you would say, a casual wrestling fan, if they're flipping the channels and they go to your station, you're like, holy shit, it's whoever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you need a couple of those because I mean, you got how do I put it? It's not even just that. It's like say like a team like let's use what the hell are their names? Danny Moff and what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, Sean.
Oh,
Sins of Slaughter? Okay. Great. I think they would be great for an AEW type show. They'd have to be brought in a certain kind of way. They'd have to be paired up with an established team. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's two teams that nobody's fucking ever heard of. Maybe a hard sell.
no, I agree with you.
But I think that there are ways to introduce guys like that, or like the Heavenly Bodies. And I think that like that's where they're gonna end up finding their future is being able to scout talent like that.
I agree with you. That's the only way they're going to survive.
Make their own stars.
Yep.
Take guys that are big in a particular region and give them a platform.
Basically what Vince did back in the 80s.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. You don't really have that territories now, but you have enough of, in some markets at least, like people who have made a bit of a name. Again, like Danny Moff and Sean and... Why am I forgetting his last name? Is his name Sean? Oh, Donovan, okay.
I just saw a clip from Danny. Danny wrestled last night, and that man's crazy.
What makes you say that?
He took a spot where a guy jumped off of a balcony and onto him, and he was laying on like a door.
That's crazy. That is nuts.
I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, that is kind of nuts.
It's funny you mention about AEW, and that's a good segue with who they aren't partnering with. Apparently, they pulled Jon Moxley out of the G1 Night 1 that's in Dallas, I believe.
Well, there's more to it than that. Do you know why that happened?
No.
Okay. He was never supposed to wrestle. Same with Jericho. Thing is, their AEW contracts have rights for their American shows. And I guess because they have a bit of a working relationship with Ring of Honor, they didn't want, or somebody has a working relationship with Ring of Honor, and it has to do with working relationships. So, other companies, they don't care if they work in the States, but independent, New Japan, it has to be in Japan. It can't be domestic shows.
Yeah, because New Japan still has their working relationship with Ring of Honor, even though they're going through a really like weird transition, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the guys used a lot of the guys for All In from Ring of Honor, and there's no working relationship now.
Yeah, I used to watch Ring of Honor like religiously, but ever since they, and I don't want to say just because of them, but ever since like all the elite guys left and they've tried to rebrand, it hasn't really excited me.
No, I can understand that. I can understand that fully.
Especially like their world champion, and I'm not knocking the dude, but he just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I'm not a Matt Taven guy, and the funny thing is like I just got to see him because we just went to the Ring of Honor show.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do it for me at all. Not a Matt Taven guy.
I mean, I'm happy the dude probably worked his way up to get there, but he, like they say, different things for different people.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely over for their current fan base. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about Ring of Honor, they actually just signed 2 people. I'm pretty sure he had already signed with them. They probably just re-signed him. Was Jonathan Gresham.
Okay, I don't know him.
And the other one they just signed because someone sent me it, and then I sent the teaser clip to you. Was the Man-Eater Maria Manic.
Yeah, good for her. I know you know her, right?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to make her into a China-like character.
Okay.
Because she's, like, super, like, jacked up like her.
Alright, hopefully they find a decent place for her.
Yeah, I do too, because she's been busting her ass, but she's in really good shape. Like, physically, when you look at her, you're just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
But my concern was that putting her in Ring of Honor's, like, women's division, to me, their women's division is kind of weak.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know they try, but...
So maybe they'd ever wrestle dudes, I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Definitely. The other kind of big thing that happened this week was the stuff with Sami Callihan and MLW.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Sami Callihan say it, he quit and spit in Cornette's face over comments that Cornette said about Sonny Kiss. Which, if that's true, then good on him.
Yeah, I saw the video of him doing it. He literally came out for his match, and Cornette was on commentary, and he spit in his face at Cornette, tried to like come at him, and Sammy flipped him off.
Well, he did post something, and he said, I stand with Sonny. So yes. I mean, like, so there is truth to that much, at least. So, I mean, he did spit in Cornette's face. Now, whether or not he really got fired for that or for the $10,000+ worth of damage from his match with Mance Warner, I don't know. But he says he quit. Other people says he was fired.
Right. I'll say this. If you cause $10,000 worth of damage and a building doesn't want, the company back, then I could see every reason why you'd want to fire somebody.
Oh, yeah. Mance as well. I mean, I know that's the hardcore heartthrob guy or the fucking homeless heartthrob, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, the Southern Psycho.
So who was the other one? Hipster heartthrob or some shit like that?
That's Casanova Valentine. He's the one that does the no-ring stuff in Brooklyn.
So who's the one who bought the shirt? Mance Warner?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because that's how I remember him. Because I remember that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'll see him tomorrow. But he's starting to branch out and do regular ring stuff too.
Well, that's where a career in wrestling is.
But
being able to actually wrestle.
yeah, what I was going to tell you, I don't want to say I dislike Sami Callihan, but he's never done it for me because he comes off to me as unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, that could just be really good gimmick work, because I don't know how the workers feel, and if the workers don't feel that way, then it doesn't matter what we think, kind of thing.
Absolutely. I'm just, the one that always sticks out in my mind is the thing he did to the guy in Impact.
Eddie Edwards?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any way he could have done that safer, though.
I was going to say, and, just because one time something happens, you shouldn't, be labeled unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, like, The Undertaker dropped Goldberg on his head, so, I mean...
Remember he did that shit to Aiden English, too. I remember that.
So, I mean, it happens. Like, so, I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't like Sami Callihan. I was never a Sami Callihan fan, but I just... I don't know if I ever got that vibe from him. I don't... He bores me. He's never done it for me. I never got the gimmick. I don't care about Death Machine. You know how I feel in death matches to begin with. So
yeah, I actually like the guys that he tags with better. Jake and Dave, OVE.
Yeah, I really don't know much about them.
I just mean from their in-ring work, I like them better. Like Sammy, I'm with you. Sammy never did it for me.
Yeah,
Not saying he's bad, it's just I never really got excited, like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, trust me, I know the feeling. Like, I never cared when he was signed in, to WWE. I wasn't like, oh yeah, Sami Callihan got signed. Like, I really couldn't have cared less.
Well, that's when he was really weird. Like, when they made him into Solomon Crow, it was strange.
A fucking hacker.
It was so fucking weird.
What the fuck are you gonna do with this? How's he gonna hack the guy in the ring?
Yeah. All right, here's some other interesting news from WWE. Apparently, the Bella Twins were on Jimmy Fallon earlier this week. And if you believe what Nikki Bella says, her and her sister were going to go after the female tag titles. But WWE wouldn't clear her medically because she has a herniated disc under the one she got fixed. What's it been, like 2 years ago?
Oh, I think it was way more than that. I think it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing, she has a herniated disc, and apparently she has a cyst on her brain, which is really scary.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know if that's necessarily gonna, if that puts her health at risk, but yeah, the idea of having a cyst on your brain isn't good.
I might not care for the Bella Twins, but I would never want to see somebody go through that.
No. So yeah, now she's effectively retired.
Basically, yeah.
So I mean, I believe that they wanted to come back. I don't know how serious WWE was with actually letting it happen. Probably very much so, but oh well.
Hey, they have their reality show, man, so they're still, making good money off of that.
Oh, I'm sure they are, yeah.
And then I'm assuming they probably have like a clothing line or something like that out there for, younger girls. So they're not hurting for money.
No, I don't think they are at all.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's just, we need to get away from all acts like the Bellas and start to get more towards, like, wrestlers.
I agree with you. I mean, I'll give Nikki this. She worked at her craft, and she got better as time went on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was just too much of them. I don't know.
They were the Roman Reigns of the women's division.
Kind of, yeah.
And I don't mean that as a knock on Roman, but they were just oversaturating the product.
Oh, absolutely. And then and then the whole thing with fucking Nikki and Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it brought in some fans, but that's not for me, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John Cena's turning into Ernest.
Slowly, yeah. I saw that.
Now, we talked about this a little bit last week, but now there's another update. Lars Sullivan was injured and scheduled to go for an MRI last week when we did the show. Apparently, he has some type of knee injury. It hasn't come out exactly what, but he's going to be out 6 to 9 months. He had some type of surgery on it.
Well, I mean, that sucks for him. I mean, hopefully, they send him back to developmental, have him get a personality, have him start tagging with Nia Jax. Because that's about the only bit I would ever want to really see of him. I don't know. I was not a fan, especially after all that racist shit came out. I don't.
And then, I can't remember. It was within the last couple weeks. He cut like a promo, remember, in the middle of the ring?
It was like three blind mice.
It was just bad.
Yeah, and as bad as it was, like as bad as the actual promo was, him cutting it just made it so much worse. Okay, it was a bad promo to begin with. I understand that. But he's just not good.
It was just weird, like how he was talking, like I'm this and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not buying this.
Everybody call me a freak, but I'm a freak. What? Like, bro, what are you talking about?
That's like some Ultimate Warrior shit.
Yeah. Because the Ultimate Warrior stuff, I don't think was ever supposed to make sense.
No, it was more so for like little kids that you're just like, well, it sounded cool, so yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that. I think Jericho said something very similar on the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD.
Yeah. And he was like, this makes no sense, but it sounded cool, so I'll clap for it.
Yeah, fucking. I definitely recommend people go back and. I don't know why it made me think of this, but the Tony Khan thing, because there's more stuff that we didn't even cover. That Fallen Angel is actually like head of talent relations.
Interesting.
Yeah, that I didn't want to see it surprise me, but that was a little cool tidbit of information to learn. I'm trying to think of anything else really stuck out because I was listening to it yesterday, trying to remember any key tidbits, but I didn't mean to come back to it. It just brain fart brought me back there. Good. Yeah, how about Firefly Funhouse? This week's was probably setting up him returning.
That's what I thought, because at the end you basically see him disappear out of the funhouse.
Yeah, so I look forward to seeing where it can start to go. I pray to God they don't fuck it up with booking.
Yeah, because I think I told Lance, I said I wouldn't be shocked if he shows up at the pay-per-view or at Raw.
Well, Raw, yeah. Pay-per-view, unless you have something sound that you're going to set him up in that he has to debut at the pay-per-view, I don't see a reason to do that. 'Cause it's just complicating things needlessly.
Yeah. Speaking of this Sunday's pay-per-view, I heard, and I sent it to you, that like WWE's trying to basically give tickets away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a buy one get one free deal. Yeah, because I remember seeing it maybe Tuesday, looking at what the map looked like of what was left, and everything that wasn't camera side was still available. It was like it looked like more of it was available than not available.
It reminded me of like an in your house show.
Yeah, that's what people have been comparing it to. In your house 2.0.
And it was funny. I know we have both mentioned this, that Stomping Grounds is basically like rematches from the last pay-per-view.
Yep.
Well, I had someone say, well, what's wrong with rematches? I said, well, there's nothing wrong with rematches. The problem is WWE won't do them like 17 times to the point of, for example, when they did AJ Styles and Nakamura, or like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I thought I'd never be tired of seeing those two matches, but they made me tired of them.
Well, and the problem is the matches don't make any sense. Because Dolph gets a title shot after not being around for 6 months, loses, and then gets another title shot. That's the problem. The stories don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's not the act of a rematch that's the problem. It's the fact that there's no continuity with storylines. Things don't make sense. So for me, it's not even the rematch. It's the fact that why is Dolph in this match again? We already had Dolph versus fucking Kofi, and he lost.
Yeah, that, and they built Dolph up to the point of where when you see him, he's almost considered like he's a joke, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, unless are they really gonna have Dolph win? You know, I mean, like,
That's what I mean. When you watch this, you're like, well, Dolph's not going to win because he could barely beat whoever, you know?
yeah. No, I'm saying, but you know, it's like, what's left at this point? Do they actually let him
I
win?
agree with you. It's it almost feels like it's like, all right, we're going to try and squeeze one more match out of this before we move on to the next thing.
I think the problem is they don't know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
I pray to God it's not what was being reported last week, that fucking it's going to be Shane McMahon to take the title off of Kofi.
You want to anger some people? Holy shit, if that happens.
Well, apparently it's causing a lot of resentment in the back, too.
I was reading that where, like, he's getting all this TV time.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people aren't blaming him, you know, but they're blaming the company. Like, they're not mad at him. He's doing what he's being told to do.
I was just going to say, he's just following orders.
You know, the last time Rusev was on WWE TV other than the Battle Royal?
When?
Mid-April.
Good lord.
Mm-hmm. Granted, now supposedly he's taking some time off, like he asked for time off and got it. But, you don't get 2 months off like that.
Well, I would probably say the same thing about Nakamura. I haven't seen him in forever.
Same time. I don't think he's been on TV since.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think they lost a match against the Usos or New Day, one of the two. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks after Mania is the last time they were on TV.
You just reminded me of something else that happened this week. Mike and Maria Kanellis re-signed with WWE.
For a multi-year deal, too.
5 years.
The Usos also re-signed.
I'm guessing WWE must be offering them some serious cash.
Look, the truth of the matter is, he's not a huge draw. He's not going to become a huge draw on the indies. He's just not going to. They're parents now. He could probably make a ludicrous amount of money for a limited amount of work. I don't necessarily blame him. He's not necessarily a young guy. You know, him and his wife have both put their time in. They probably signed 2 contracts, whereas she probably would not have gotten that contract anywhere else.
And honestly, it's kind of like, if it's a 5-year deal, this is probably the last contract you're ever going to sign.
For them, yeah. I mean, and it's like, what's the chance of him being favorably pushed in AEW?
50-50 at best?
Not even. I mean, he's still just Mike Bennett. You know, I mean, he's a good worker, but Not for what he probably got offered by the WWE.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
So,
probably threw ridiculous money at him just to make him stay.
yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably stay if I was his age and I travel with him. I mean, he's going to continue to have royalties. They're going to continue to make action figures of him. He's going to continue to be in video games.
Like you said, especially at his age, because he's not, a spring chicken anymore.
No, I mean, hopefully they begin to use him more like they have been on 205 Live.
Which I would say, with the exception of NXT, is probably the best show they have.
Problem is, even less people watch it.
Yeah. I just mean they really turned it around from where it was.
I fully agree with you. And the problem is that nobody takes it seriously.
Yep. That's the sad part.
Remember when the Tony Nese match was about to break?
Yeah.
Was it the last pay-per-view, Money in the Bank? They had the 205 Live title match, the Cruiserweight title, and for those people who didn't see it, you see Tony Nese's Titantron playing, and like the guy on the cell phone camera turns it, and you can just see people making for the fucking concession stands, just people walking up the aisles, yeah. As if they went to intermission. They went to intermission. Like, that's what made it was like a massive people. It's like, this is probably the best wrestling you're going to have the entire night, and you're not even going to sit and watch it.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if you read this. I thought this was interesting, that AEW and WWE are supposedly have big interest in MLW's Jacob Fatu, who is related to Roman Reigns. I don't know exactly how, but they're related somehow.
Is that the guy who just beat the shit out of a fan?
I don't know.
Because one of them, because the Usos responded, and it's one of their cousins, and it's the guy's name is Fatu, and it happened at, I think it was a East Coast show, and a fan came over the railing, and he just fucking trucked him. This was like in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you've seen the video.
About, but I'm not sure if it's him.
I think it was him. It was definitely one of the Fatus.
I don't know if it was him or the guy I'm talking about now is the one they had on Raw a few weeks back.
No, I don't think of it. I don't know, but
because there's so forgive me, there's so damn many of them.
Yes, there are. 6,415,000 Fatus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, but either way, AEW and WWE are like really interested in this kid. They both feel that he's going to be a superstar.
Well, that's good for him. It's nice to have people want to bid for you.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him wrestle because he's in a heel faction in MLW. It's called the Contra Unit. Along with and the people he's with is his tag partner is Joseph Samuel, and Simon Gotch is the other guy with him.
Oh, interesting.
I had a conversation with Simon Gotch when I helped out MLW, and I didn't even know it was him.
What do you mean? How do you not recognize him?
We just had like a general conversation about like life and different things in wrestling, and then he came out like when it was his time to be the bad guy and beat everyone up. I was like, holy shit, that was him. I didn't even know it.
Does he have the same mustache and the same gimmick?
No, he cut the mustache off, and he looks like he's in better shape.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, man, that kind of had a 1 in a million face with that facial hair and stuff.
Yeah, no, he's clean cut now.
Okay, because you should have seen the look I was giving you through the headset.
I can only imagine.
That'd be like walking up and being like, "I didn't recognize Goldberg." Like, what the fuck? Here's an iconic look. I don't want to say Simon Gotch was iconic, but
No, I know what you mean. Where it's like when you see the face, you 99 times out of 100 you should know it.
yeah, if you saw just his facial hair, you should know who the fuck it was.
Definitely. I wanted to bring this up because I briefly had mentioned it to you the other day. This is actually sad news. I wasn't super familiar with him, but the UK fans are. Adrian Lionheart McCollum, who was the ICW World Champion, passed away the other day. He was only 36.
Apparently, it's come out now that he took his own life.
Yes. I read it had something to do with post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, as a result of like there was a fire, I guess, in the flat next door to him, and he tried very desperately to get in and save a teenage girl who afterwards, he claimed he could hear her screaming and he couldn't get to her. Yeah, I think he saved her mother and her boyfriend, but wasn't able to get into the door to get her, and I guess had survivor's guilt or survivor's remorse.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can only imagine how awful it could be to like hear someone screaming for their life and you can't get to them.
Yeah. So yeah, and apparently this has been hitting him really hard, and I don't know if it was from lack of seeking help or what. I mean, he just ended up taking his life, and that just proves it doesn't matter where you are in life. He was the world champion of the company he has been around. I believe it was 16 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was living the kind of life. I'm sure that he was happy to be living. If you go by just a measure of success, he had a lot of professional success, but it kind of echoes back to like Robin Williams. You never know.
It's very true, man. It's just crazy where you can have one thing or one moment completely change your life around.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, how things can just happen so quickly.
Yeah, it's just a sad thing.
Yeah, and he was only 36. I mean, that's younger than I am, bro.
Yeah. Oh, now that I want to switch to a little happier, not as dark stuff. I just remembered about this. Davey Boy Smith Jr. He's officially done with New Japan.
Yes, I heard that this week. That's interesting.
I was reading because he felt that they haven't been booking him properly.
Yeah, I read something very similar.
That's a big fucking dude.
Yes, he's a large human being.
But I honestly don't blame him because they've been booking him well in MLW. He's with the new Heart Foundation there with Teddy and Pillman.
Yeah, isn't he tag team champion with Teddy?
Yeah, he was at one point.
Yeah, I don't watch any MLW. How is it?
I enjoy it. It's not that bad.
You watch it weekly?
Yeah, on because you can get their weekly show on YouTube
For free?
Yeah.
Do they have like pay-per-views?
I would say like hit or miss, but it's more so like a weekly show right now.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they've actually had a quote-unquote pay-per-view that I can think of, but they'll have like a bigger show. Like, I know they're going to be doing some type of like War Games cage match coming up.
Okay, interesting.
I'll have to find the information and send it to you, but I like some of their talent. Hopefully Teddy's okay. I heard he got hurt last week at an indie show, and a friend of mine was there and messaged me, and he was worried that he blew his knee out.
Oh, that's not good.
But I haven't really heard anything, so I'm assuming he must be okay.
I hope so. Yeah, that
I
would
mean, 'cause
suck.
if he was really like seriously injured, somebody would have picked up on it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who all they're still there, I believe, the Lucha Brothers for the time being.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of those contracts fully become exclusive um until the TV deal goes through. But don't quote me on that.
The thing I've heard about MLW is their contracts. It's more of just to, hey, look, I have a contract, because like they're worth like nothing.
Oh, okay.
I've had a couple people tell me that, where it's more like how Vince used to have it back in the day.
Just like very loose contracts.
Yes, and it's like you're guaranteed 10 dates at $100 a date.
Oh, okay, so it's a very shitty guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for certain, but that's what I've heard from a couple different people. I gotta tell you, I actually went and rewatched Raw after your recommendation. It wasn't a bad show.
No, I mean, it was like, if it's the start of something, it was a good episode.
Let's see if they can follow up on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want to say I actually have hope for the pay-per-view, but it's like every time there's a pay-per-view that we have no hope for, it ends up being a pretty okay show.
I'll watch it because I don't have anything else to do.
I mean, it's like I'm watching it mainly because we expect it to be awful, and a lot of the times those are the shows that end up being some of the better ones of the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find ways to get themselves out of the nonsense that they're in, like booking wise. Hopefully they can book some decent shit. Apparently they've been asking talent to come forward with more elaborate storylines.
I mean, I would think they would if they let their writers and agents do their thing without like being what's the word I want to use? You know what I mean? Where they're like picking out every little thing. If they just let them do their thing, I think they would be fine.
I mean, would be nice.
I mean, because they have the talent backstage that know what the hell they're doing.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, for example, Tyson Kidd, I think, has turned into a really good agent.
By all accounts, yeah.
You know, and then they got guys like Abyss is back there, Sonjay Dutt. You know, so they got people that know what the hell they're doing. I think it's, in my opinion, it's more so they have to take the shackles off, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Vince needs to let people work without having to micromanage everything.
Yes.
I think that'll only be positive for the company. In my opinion.
I will say the one thing I really liked on Raw was seeing Ricochet win the chance to wrestle Samoa Joe for the U.S. title.
Oh, speaking of Ricochet.
Yeah.
In an unfortunate position to be in.
He got hacked along with quite a few other people.
There were other people?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Unless they're old ones that I weren't aware of, they had like a list of different. Like Brooke Hogan was one of them.
That's news to me.
But basically, what I'm talking about, if you're listening and you're unaware, someone hacked into Ricochet's personal, I'm assuming his phone.
Something, yeah, and got a video of him.
I got a video of him doing adult themed things.
With his booty hole.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, he was playing with his booty hole.
There's always I don't understand younger people putting all this like stuff on their phones or somewhere that could easily be hacked into.
See, I look at it in a different way. I look at it as people shouldn't be restricted in living, like, doing what they want in life because of hackers. I just think they should do it a little bit safer.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's amazing to me that people put that stuff on like their phones and stuff without making sure it's like super protected.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder how all of these people are getting hacked so easily.
Doesn't it, bro?
Kind of. It's kind of scary.
That's why I'm glad I don't have one of those like fancy phones.
Oh, I need my phone. I absolutely need my phone.
I have a
I need my
burner
phone.
phone.
Oh no, I need my smartphone, bro.
You're going to be like Kevin Gill when I saw him a few weeks back calling fucking Uber Eats at like 3 in the morning to bring him Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's what fucking Uber Eats is for, bro. Like, if
I
not
just
Uber
laughed.
Eats.
I was like, really, dude? You're going to make the fucking guy come to like the casino for Taco Bell? He's like, hell yeah, bro. I got to go back to Cali and get on a flight at like 5.
Oh, that's what that shit's there for, bro.
I know, I've never tried it. My mom was asking me about it. She's like, what is this?
Yeah, no, it's just basically a delivery service.
Yeah, well,
So,
because she sees like all the commercials on television.
it's fucking useful. I love it. I use DoorDash though. Fuck Uber Eats.
Well, for curiosity, what's the difference?
Different apps. I just happen to like DoorDash better.
Okay, I was just wondering if there was like something specific that made it better.
No, they're just I just like this one better.
It
No
shows you
particular.
how out of touch I am with technology.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what the difference is though. So we're batting a fucking 1,000 here, Mike. Joey.
Oh man! All right, dude. I have the I guess it's called Stomping Grounds card in front of me. You want to go over it real quick?
Sure.
All right, let's see here. First, we have Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending the SmackDown tag titles against your boys Heavy Machinery.
I would like to see Heavy Machinery win it, to be completely honest with you.
I would pop for that.
Uh, I mean, they've been building them the last couple weeks, so I mean, it would make sense that that's what they're going to do, but we're talking about a double E here, so. But I'm going to say Heavy Machinery, because they haven't really done anything with the belts on Daniel Bryan and Rowan, so.
Yeah, I'll go with that, and then they could kind of have a build of heel teams go after them.
Yeah, I think Heavy Machinery will be good as tag champions. I genuinely do.
Because they have the charisma stuff down.
Oh, they absolutely do.
All right, next we have Tony Nese defending his Cruiserweight Championship in a triple threat against Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak.
I'd like to see Gulak win it.
Dude, I would be so happy if Gulak won it.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gulak win that one.
But if you made me like choose, you know, without my heart in it, I think Tony Nese will retain.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. I didn't even know this one was a match. The New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I think that was just made on SmackDown.
Okay.
So, I don't know, probably the heels.
I'm going to go with Kevin and Sami because I don't think they've won one match with these guys yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, they're kind of due.
No, I agree fully. So, yeah.
All right, let's see here. Next, we have Samoa Joe defending his U.S. title against Ricochet.
I think the smart idea is to give it to Ricochet.
Yeah, I kind of have this vibe that Joe's going to keep it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel like it was just, like they didn't really think about the Ricochet thing. I mean,
Yeah, let's just, oh, hey, here you go.
but I'm gonna go with my heart, and I'm gonna say I hope it's Ricochet.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Either way, it should be a really good match.
As long as he keeps the title away from his butt.
All right, next we have Kofi Kingston defending the WWE title against Dolph Ziggler in a cage match.
I mean, it better not be Dolph.
That would be a big letdown, wouldn't it?
I think it would be. I mean, at any other point, I'd be all for Dolph Ziggler, but you know, it's no.
It's 2019, people.
Yeah, it's just like it's Dolph ain't the shit no more.
No, I think Kofi wins.
I think Kofi has to win.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Next, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss.
Let me tell you, after this week's Moment in Bliss, like this is the one match I'm actually the most excited for on the whole fucking pay-per-view.
They've done a good job building it.
I thought I thought this Moment of Bliss, because usually I cringe. I'm like, because they're awful. The Moment of Bliss segments are fucking awful. And it actually wasn't bad, because I just remember how bad the Bayley This Is Your Life one was.
Worst rated segment in Raw history.
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. So, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's next at it, for them. Although I don't like the whole Nikki Cross part of this angle.
It's weird.
Yeah, especially on one show, Alexa's like babyface. On another show, she's a heel. Like,
it's very confusing.
Yeah, to say the least. So, but no, I don't know, because WWE is weird. They could just take the title right off of Bayley immediately. I don't know. What if Sasha comes back and causes Bayley to lose?
That'd be interesting.
Like, that I could be okay with.
I get the vibe that Alexa's going to win because how do I want to? I always feel like Bayley is better as chasing the championship as opposed to being the champion.
Yeah, I don't think if she's had the opportunity to really be main roster champion enough.
I got you.
But I know what you're saying. I just think that's a shitty position for somebody to have to be in. Oh, well, you don't work well as a champion. You work better, chasing the champion.
No, I understand. And I don't know, they just have... WWE has this thing where they really like, I guess, putting the title on Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, they really seem to. You're not kidding.
All right. Let's see here. Next, we have Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre.
I hope this is the end.
What's this, like number 6?
It very well may be.
Because they've been wrestling since Mania.
Yeah, it's I had completely forgotten that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but my issue with this is I know you have to make Roman look strong, but for Jesus' sake, can Drew McIntyre get at least one win?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just over Drew McIntyre completely at this point. They've oversaturated it. I
Yeah,
just don't
they
care.
because remember we were talking a few months back about how this dude should be world champion.
Yeah, and I definitely think he should be. I'm done hearing about him. I'm tired of him.
I
Or
know what you
they
mean, but and this is the problem when you do this wild card rule where you have certain talents on both shows they're going to get oversaturated even quicker.
exactly. I don't need any more of Drew McIntyre in my life.
I hear you. That being said, Roman's going to win.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that Roman Reigns is going to win.
All right. Next, we have Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans.
I don't know. Could this be why they call it Stomping Grounds and this big military boot? Could this be where Lacey wins?
Maybe.
And I don't know. It could be, but I don't know. I don't know.
Talk about over it and like oversaturated. Say hello to Becky Lynch.
And Lacey Evans, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I meant like I was really into the man and all this stuff, and now I'm just like, ugh. And I change the channel.
Oh,
And
I
it's
know.
not, and not to cut you off, it's not her fault.
I just think it's too much with this military chick. I don't think anybody cares.
Well, I know. Did you see the video when Bailey went to attack her? I think it was last week. When she tried to give her the Bailey to Bailey, however you.
Oh
say,
yeah, yeah.
and she like didn't help her at all, and it looked like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she still has a long way to go. I mean, she wasn't really in NXT for a fucking over long time.
No.
I don't know. In the beginning, there was a lot of people that supposedly said she was great to work with. Like, that people really enjoyed working with her.
Huh. Because she's looked very sloppy lately.
She has. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some people like working with her, so I don't know.
If Vince really likes her, then she's probably gonna win.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? It's definitely gonna come down to Vince. So
I'll go
I don't
with
know.
Becky, just because I think they should keep the title on her. Let her have a longer run. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I completely agree.
All right. And last but not least, Seth Rollins defending the Universal title against Baron Corbin with a to be announced special guest referee.
I told you this. I'm almost certain that the ref is going to be Brock Lesnar.
You would think.
Yeah, nothing. And I had actually messaged you early in the show too, and I was like, "How much you want to bet it's Brock Lesnar?" But you weren't watching at that point.
Yeah, but no, that makes sense.
And then they keep showing Heyman. It's just like nobody else would make sense, and that's where I get my argument from. At this point, nobody else would make sense. I was okay with like Seth going around beating up everybody with chairs. I was okay with that. You know, some people are like, "Oh, he's the baby face. He shouldn't be doing that." And it's like, you know, it's Austin shit like that.
But
So
it's where he kind of, as they would say, snapped.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Where like he basically got sick and tired of everybody's BS and just, went crazy. That I'm okay with.
Yeah, and he don't trust nobody. Like that I'm cool with. Like, I'm
Definitely.
completely okay with him going around beating up Eric Young from behind with a chair. Who the
Yeah.
fuck's Eric Young? Because people are like, oh, how am I supposed to cheer for him when he's going up beating up Eric Young? Like, who the fuck's Eric Young?
I feel bad for that dude.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for fucking EC3.
Hey, they must be getting paid a lot of money to do that.
I don't know, dude. You see what EC3 put up? He goes, every time you laugh, I die a little bit inside.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not happy, bro.
Man, that sucks.
I don't think he's happy doing all this fucking ridiculousness.
I wanted to bring up one more thing before we get out of here because you sent me the video of it. Poor Dana Brooke.
Oh my god. Yeah, that shit was pretty awful. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Sarah
pretty.
Logan apparently went to do like a knee to her back, but when she did, she, I guess, used too much force, and Dana hit her head on the post.
Yeah, like, there was no way in hell was that Dana Brooks' fault.
No, and I feel bad for her because, like I told you off air, she's finally starting to get some momentum behind her.
Yeah, she's hardworking. I mean, she may not be the best, but I mean, she works hard to get better, and I can respect that. You know, I can completely respect that. She wants to get better. She knows she's not great, but she enjoys doing this, and she wants to get better. I can totally respect that shit.
Absolutely. From what I heard, she broke the orbital bone in her eye.
Ooh, yeah, that's bad.
Let me double check to make sure, because I had heard that that was supposedly what had happened.
Oh, that's awful. A fucking broken orbital socket.
I can only imagine how painful.
Poor her.
I'm trying. Bear with me for a second.
I'm bearing with you. Don't worry. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Got you, bro.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, it says that she broke her orbital bone.
Damn, bro. That's not a fucking fun injury. I can't imagine that.
No, not at all.
Oh, my best wishes to fucking her. Jesus.
And it was on main. It was on main event, right?
Yeah, it was a main event match.
That sucks.
Yeah, it really does. You know, I mean, it's and again, she's not the best worker in the world, but you know, she tries. And for me, that's all that you know.
Yeah, at least you're putting forth effort.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's. I feel bad a lot of the time because you know she's the butt of so many jokes. But I do like the fact that they had her in skits, like when she was like, you know, sometimes I don't even think people know I work here.
I agree with you, and I feel bad people make fun of her because she had the tragedy with the guy she was with passed away, and you know that's fucking hard.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's not something I'd want to go through. No, thank you.
But you know, a lot of times wrestling fans are jerks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it just reminded me of one more thing I wanted to talk about before we get out of here.
Okay.
Have you seen? I sent it to you. Not Taya. The Scarlet Bordeaux video.
You already know what I'm gonna say. Like, there's nothing that needs to be said about that. You don't put your hands on fucking people. Like, there's nothing else really to say about that.
I was just really disturbed by, excuse me, by how a guy thinks it's okay to do that to a performer.
or to anybody. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess more so, I mean, a performer because, there's a guardrail there. You know better than to go and put your hands on whomever, let alone a woman.
Oh, he didn't know too well.
No, at least the one positive for her is she finally was released from her contract with Impact.
Yeah, that's an awful situation. I know Kevin and Scott D'Amore were going back and forth on Twitter, like to the point that it made like wrestling news sites.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't quite know what exactly it said, but yeah, Kevin was going back and forth with Scott D'Amore.
I bet that was fun.
Probably for Kevin. Kevin loves owning people on Facebook.
Oh, I know he does.
I'm not Facebook, Twitter. He's very good at it.
Yeah, I'll look at his stuff every so often and get a chuckle. All right, dude. Are you just headed to Baltimore for the whole weekend? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I'm going to Baltimore.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, make my wife happy.
What is it that you always say? Happy wife, happy life.
I got a new one now.
Go on.
Happy spouse, happy house. Fuck
Yeah.
all that only men stuff.
You need to frame that one.
Yes, happy house, happy spouse.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but on that note, we're going to get out of here for today. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll see you back next time. Have a good one, everybody.
Adios.